Okay, so the date, I believe this is supposed to be the date that the class was taught. The division is humanities. The department, it's going to be either EMLS or linguistics. The discipline, if it's an EMLS class, the discipline is going to be ESL. If it's linguistics, the discipline will be linguistics. The course name, this is the course name, so high intermediate academic reading writing, and then the course number, EMLS 367 RW. The course description from the catalog, okay, and then the SLOs, where can you find that? So that's going to be, if you don't know where that is, I think Jennifer Franklin might have given you a link, and I think some people were having problems with the link, but anyway, this is just the really easy way to find it. From the Fresno City College website, you go to faculty and staff, and you kind of scroll down a little bit, and then you want to go to Curricunet, the public site, and then you want to make sure that you type in the exact title of your course. It has to be exact. This is not Google. So it's 367 RW, and then you're going to do a search, and then it sometimes comes up with more than one result, and then the course outline of record is going to be under reports. You have to click it, and then that will make it come up, and so the title is right here. The course description, you can just grab it right here. If you have, okay, so I taught 367 and 267 last fall. I only had, I think, 3 students in my 267. Three or four. So I need to do one of these for my 267 as well. But the 367, I had more students in that one, so I thought I would just show you that one. It still was kind of a small class, though. It was an online synchronous class. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna grab the course description, and then I just copy and paste it here, and then I go down to the very, very bottom, and then these are the student learning outcomes. Now, I failed to do any time writings in my class. I just did not. I just never did that. It was an, like I said, it was an online synchronous class. I should have probably done that, but I just didn't do it. So, oops. Okay, too bad. So I can't do that one, but I can do these 3. Okay. So, I have SLO1, SLO2, and SLO3 here. And so let me show you what I did. What I did is I am using one single essay for, and it's the very last essay called the laughter essay. Okay. And you can see that it's a pretty small class, and it's the last essay that we did. Here's the scores, and I'll go into the speed grader so you can see. Okay, this did take some time, and you do not have to do all of this, but this is what I did. Okay, so I used a rubric to score these, and so the SLOs are me show you the SLOs. Okay, so the SLOs are metacognitive reading strategies and respond to college level reading material. Okay, so reading and then responding to reading material. Composing 3 to 4 essays. I don't know how you can do that in one single assessment, but anyway, I just am acting like it's just one. And vocabulary and grammar. Okay. And then producing cohesive and coherent essays, writing process, supported by source material. Okay. So in my rubric, what I have I have organization, I have analysis, I have conventions, basically grammar and punctuation, I have citations, and I have vocabulary. And it was not that hard because I have I only had 10 students in my class, and only 7 of them turned in this final essay, so it wasn't a lot of math that I had to do. And I don't believe that Canvas can automate this, taking out the individual pieces of the, the criterion of the rubric. I think, at least I don't think it can. I mean, I think it can do the, scores. You can look at Canvas analytics, and look at the scores, but I don't think you can do that with individual parts of the rubric. But anyway, there's only 7 students that I was looking at, so it didn't take that long. So what I did was I kind of looked at the different parts of the rubric to hit the parts of the SLO, if that makes sense. Okay, so the first SLO, apply appropriate and effective metacognitive reading strategies and respond to college level reading material. Okay, so that is just what you have to do for this section right here. You just have to put the SLO in this column. Okay, and then for assessment methods and criteria, describe the assessment method, who was assessed, what percentage is considered successful. So all the students in the section were assessed. 70% is considered success. Actually, that's not really true because not all of the students were assessed. Only 7 students submitted this essay. So I'm gonna take that out. Okay. All students in this segment were 70%. 7 students submitted this essay. 70%. I'm just going to leave it like that, because I guess 7 students submitted this essay. I think I'll leave it like that. That makes sense, right? 7 students submitted this essay. 70% is considered success. Okay. The laughter essay was used as the assessment tool for this SLO. Students read 2 short articles on the benefits of laughter on health using metacognitive reading strategies and submitted their notes to be checked in class. Then they used their notes to write the essay. Okay. And then what were the results? When was the study conducted? How many total students were assessed? See, then it asks that question again. Oh my gosh. Overall, there were 10 students in this section. I'm going to put that back. 7 students submitted this essay. Of the students who submitted the essay, the overall score was 82%. For the analysis criterion of the rubric, students scored an average of 83%. They scored an average of 70% on the citations criterion of the rubric. Okay. Okay, what went well in your assessments? What challenges did you encounter? Would you change teaching methods, the SLO itself, or the assessment? What changes resulted in the outcome statement? the assessment tool and or teaching. If you feel everything was satisfactory, why? If not, what would you do differently? Okay. It is not 100%, I hate these little things right here. Okay. It is not 100% clear that students who are able to read and understand the articles are able to use the information in their essay. However, this is a better assessment than discrete objective comprehension questions based on readings. Using information in an authentic manner is a more useful skill than out of context multiple choice or fill in the blank items. While we most likely will not change the way we teach these skills, we may need to look at the wording of the SLO so that gathering the data is cleaner. Okay, so that's my analysis there. Number 2. This is the SLO. Compose 3 to 4 essays that demonstrate the usage of appropriate vocabulary and the correct application of grammatical rules. All students in the section were assessed. And again, I'm going to put that. 7 students submitted this essay. 70% is considered success. The laughter essay was used as the assessment tool for this SLO. Students wrote multiple drafts of the essay and received a grade on the final draft. Overall, there were 10 students in this section. 7 students submitted this essay. For the vocabulary criterion of the rubric, students scored an average of 85%, and for the conventions criterion of the rubric, which includes grammar and punctuation, students scored an average of 78%. Okay, so then I explain. Students get feedback on grammar and punctuation points with every draft of their essay that they submit. Depending on the student, they may or may not receive marks on every error that they make. The goal is for them to identify patterns of errors and work to correct them over time. While development of English syntactic structures is certainly a goal of this course, it is difficult to quantify because each student is on their own timeline and working at their own individual pace. This is not really something that can be sped up through coursework. An individual has to put the time in to receive enough comprehensible input to move to the next developmental stage in language acquisition in order to master the grammatical structures that they are developmentally ready for. I'm trying to confuse them with some jargon there so they won't question that. The students who submitted their final drafts were successful. None had failing scores. All the drafts improved with each subsequent submission. Okay, number 3. Produce cohesive and coherent essays using the writing process supported by source material. Oh, I should also put something in here like we should also rewrite this SLO so that it is more manageable than having multiple essays to deal with at once. Okay. We should also consider. Consider rewriting this SLO so it's more manageable than having multiple essays to deal with, than having to deal with multiple essays, having to deal with, multiple essays at once. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. All right, number 3, produce cohesive and coherent essays using the writing process supported by source material. Okay, all students in the section were assessed. 70% is considered success. Okay, the laughter essay was used. Okay, students scored an average of 88%. on the organization criterion. Okay, what does it ask again? What was the results? When was the study conducted? Students scored an average of 88% on the organization criterion section of the rubric and 83% on the analysis section of the rubric. Okay, the students who submitted their final drafts were successful. None had failing scores. All the drafts improved with each subsequent submission. The biggest problem was the number of students who did not submit this essay. 30% of the students in this section did not submit the final draft. One student submitted the final draft after I submitted grades, and I only noticed when I did this analysis they passed the class regardless. Because of this, I will certainly adjust and make the due date of this kind of high-stakes essay due at least a couple of weeks earlier in the semester to give more breathing room for late submissions. Then I will save the last couple of weeks of the course for makeup work and low-stakes assignments and class activities. Okay, so that's what I'm going to turn in for this assessment report. So I'm going to save it. It's going to be course level assessment report. It's going to be 367 RW, and I'm going to say fall 2022. Okay, save it, and boom, done. Okay, that's it. Okay, so this is yeah. The main thing I know that they're looking for is a lot of like analysis over here. If you are kind of stuck, if you don't know what to say, don't stress out too much about it. Don't worry too much about it. I can help you with that. You could just even, reach out to me, get some ideas from me on this. I'm good at thinking of things over here, or even helping you fill this part in, having a discussion with you about this part right here. But you need to have something over here. This, I feel like they ask these kind of questions are kind of redundant, and they don't even necessarily need all this information or want all this information. These are kind of like hoops that we have to jump through. It's more like they just want us to have this discussion and think about these things. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions, but we do need to get these reports from you. And I do think that I did too much work in terms of my, all my adding up and all that stuff. So you definitely do not need to do that. Just use what you're already doing in class. Use the Canvas analytics. You shouldn't need to have to do a lot of extra work for this. It should just be kind of what Canvas is giving you, and then a little bit of thinking about how your students are doing, how you're delivering your content, and what you can possibly do to improve. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right.